Jam Jam! Oh. Come on, my love. Oh, here it is. Oh, tasty and delicious. You should try it. It's lovely. Do you like it? I think it's the best I've ever made. Yeah? Easy, girl. Mmm. You're delicious. Is it? It is. I'll turn it around that way. That better? Yeah? You was like dropping it on the floor. Mmm. Is it tasty? It is tasty. Why are you dropping it out your mouth again? My good girl. Yeah? Good Gem Gem. Is that yummy? Is it yummy? Is it? It's 4:52. It's 4:52. Now I'm going to go find the camera. Mm-hmm. Nice. Yes, nice. Yes, it is. I can hear something. YouTube. Now, what am I on? I am on. Listen. Gorgeous channel, aren't I? That's where we're at. Never seen up. Yeah. Oh, you're dropping it on the floor again. You see me move? you done? You should show everybody your big jerky nose. Hmm? What do you think? The turkeys, they're misbehaving again all the time. Yeah, you got it okay? Not bad there? I know. Stitch 2-1. Yeah, good girl. Yeah. You're the prettiest girl. Yes, you are. Is that better? Can I hold it this way? Not the bestest. Oh my gosh. You think be finished in 2 minutes? You think? Maybe. I don't think you will. No, you don't. Oh, the horn. Oops. You spilled a bit. Here we go. Did it get caught? It did. It's 5 o'clock, Jim. Hello, happy Thursday. And thank you for joining Gemmie and I for Dinner with Gemmie. Yeah, Dinner with Gemmie. And I bet you're all really jealous that you're not joining us for Dinner with Gemmie because it looks delicious. It's very green and very brown and very sloppy. And today she is having, it's Thursday, she is having some medalist pellets. She is having some shredded beets. She's having some cow food, because she's like that. What else did we have? I made a wee bit of Timothy, didn't we? It's quite delicious. And she's a very good eater although she has spilled some on the floor. But she does enjoy her dinner, don't you? But we cannot eat at the same time as Elvis because he eats super fast and is not very gentlemanly because he eats from her bowl. And she knows that her bowl is the yellow bowl because it's always I either hold it for her or I put it down in the hall or the aisle of the barn somewhere so that she can go and find it and she knows that's her dinner, don't you? So when I leave out the blue bowl, because the blue bowl has bits and pieces in it, there's a purple bowl, and this one, she knows to go to this one, and she's a very smart girl because she does go to this one. You're a clever girl. But I know, you don't need to tell me. Although she did have a bit of an incident with the donkeys this afternoon. She decided to come into the arena to see what was going on. And the two big silly donkeys, Arthur and Dimitri, have been having hijinks all afternoon. They've been rushing around, they've been wrestling with one another, and then they decided to chase her. So they chased her, and she ended up going all the way through a massive snowdrift down to the gate at the tool shed, and bring her into that way. That is not Gemmie food, that is duck food. Gem. Honestly. So, Arlene, unfortunately, says that she did her updates on her iPhone, and my golly, has it made things far more complex. And I'm glad, actually, that I did the update a few weeks ago, and I thought, crikey, this is quite a bit more in the way of steps to do my basic things, and I'm like, it's taken me a wee while to get used to it, and I do find it very fiddly. So unfortunately, Caroline decided to update hers today, and she's like, I can't find anything now. And I said, that's because you did the update, didn't you? And she went, yes. I said, it's horrific. So she is not best pleased with her phone, and I can appreciate that because it is a bit of a pest. So she's working on. What is she working on? Oh, she's working on our new mailing system for the mail that comes in and the mail that goes out. And she's getting our, she's got she's got, what do they call them? Those things we put between votes. Monkey fists. She's got a whole load of monkey fists that are in the list to go out to people. So she's going to be slowly but surely working her way through those over the next few days, which is super because that gets that backlog done. And so she's very busy right now. And she actually had the cheek to send me a text last night and said, I think I'm a bit too hot in the house. But I was like, and you won't be hot over the weekend. It's going to be -2 overnight. So she said, I think I've worked it out. I've turned it down. I'll let you know if I haven't. So I think she was okay because by the time I got there this morning, she was just perfectly comfortable. And it was Thursday all day. Yesterday was Wednesday. I don't even know what we did. Oh, we put a new mailing system for the mail that comes into operation, which is always a worry. Turkeys to be back again. And we now have reinforced envelopes, plastic envelopes with zips on the top with everybody's name on them. And we're hoping that means that if something inadvertently goes to Carlene, she can put it in Goldie's file, and then we can bring it to MailChat, etc., and get that all sorted out. Let's hope it works because a bit like the barn animals at the moment, we're all over the place. So we are trying to get things sorted. And this all came about really because Edith sent us a really very kind donation, and the first one went missing, and then the second one got tied up in a whole knot somewhere and didn't get to the right people, so it was a bit of a mess. So thank you firstly, Edith, for your very kind donation, and thank you also for, really forcing us to clamp down on our very efficient mailing system. It's a nightmare. And you'll probably have noticed I've got animals all over the place. I've got too many horses in the turkey stall. The turkeys are out in the hall. Elvis is eating. He's probably finished his dinner. What do you think? And the donkeys are having an absolute heyday in the arena. And the goats are the only ones that are in the right place, which is very unusual. And Elvis this afternoon has managed to get a bale of hay down from the haystack and has spread it all over the floor. So he is going to find that that is going to be put into his stall for him to eat, because he's a monkey. Are you staying or are you going? Missy. She's determined to get into the duck food. So I think she might be done because it's all over the floor. Let's hope the turkeys come in and sort that out. So today was Thursday. We obviously had our jog today, and it was in Methuen. Now I always worry about going to Methuen because it's just a wee bit further away, and you know I don't drive the interstate, so I like to go through every single town that I possibly can on the back roads before I get there. So it was a super visit. I really I had a super time. It was lovely. We saw about 84 people, maybe more than that, because not only were the people from Methuen village there, and there was trainee support nurses there too. There were grade 5 from the local school there, and they were fantastic. So it was Larky, Moose, and myself, and it was just absolutely super. Now Larky, he had absolutely no treats because I cannot handle the pram and Larky, the frying pan, and the treat container at the same time. So he did exceptionally well. He just went round and visited with absolutely everybody. No encouragement or the promise of a treat. It was just pat, and everybody was having such a lovely time with him. And we were there for over an hour, and we just kept going round. There were so many people to talk to. People were coming in and out, so it was wonderful. And Moose was just fantastic as well. I didn't take very many pictures because there was a lot of children there, and I'm always very conscious of taking pictures of children. So I did take a couple of the trainee staff, so that was good. I'll try and remember to put that up. And then we came home, and we popped in to see Carlene, and then we realised that Larky hadn't had his breakfast, so not only had he not had treats until he got back to the car, he also hadn't had his breakfast. So we gave him his brunch, and yes, I got that sorted. Then I went down to Meredith, and Meredith was absolutely shipshape because Kate says, "Oh, hello, how are you?" There's my Tom Turkey in now. I don't know if you'll be able to see him. I wonder, can I put this camera down a wee bit? Oh, hello, are you back? I know, I see you. You're such a good girl. And then I went to Meredith, but Kate had it basically all done, and I would have been upsetting her system. Well, I could have upset her system, but I wouldn't do that to Kate. So Annie and I just went for a little walk. We always like to go for a walk to check all the fences are upright, because we are surrounded by quite a large number of coyotes. So we just like to make sure that everything is in ship shape, and it was. And I picked Sophie up from school, dropped her off, and then came down here for fun in the barn. And honest to goodness, this afternoon has just been chaos because there's so much to do, and everybody's out and about. And it's lovely to be able to take the time to spend with all the animals, having them wandering, and then you've got to clean up afterwards because they're very messy. Very messy. What do you think? You want this? You say nicely. Yeah? Okay. Very good. And so it's been a really super day, and there's nothing nicer than getting to spend time in the barn until the cows poop in kennel 9 and 10. You just like pooping in here. Yeah, you eat that from the floor. That would be helpful. What are you two up to? I wonder if I've still got some of those, excuse me a second. Oh no, I haven't. I must have taken them out. I think I gave you the peas. You've had them. You can eat the rest of our bucket. That's good. I know. You're fine. Right, I'll get you some more. So, it has been a really lovely, lovely day. It was bright and sunny, blinking freezing cold, and it's going to get colder this weekend. I went into the Carlene this morning, and she greeted me with the cheery words of, I think we've got a storm coming in this weekend. So I was like, oh, joy, really? And then she followed it up with, my phone is not working. I was like, oh, double joy. So, yeah, super fun. And you may have noticed, if you watch the arena camera, the donkeys have just been the funster crazy. So they were outside, they've been chasing everybody around, they've been trying to chase the goats, they chased Gemmie, they were chasing each other, they were being right pains in the butt, weren't they? Weren't they? Yeah, you know what we're going to have to get for the barn? We're going to have to get a mop and bucket, because you keep making a mess. Yeah, yeah. You can only have these because you finished your dinner. I know, because you're such a good girl, aren't you? Yes, you are. You are such a good girl. Right, you're going to not going to have any more. No, no, because you've got to keep some for tomorrow. Yes, we do. Nope. All done. All done. And obviously it's Super Bowl this weekend, somebody informed me today. I was like, so that's if we don't get, mind you, it's not in New England, so it'll be fine. Goodness knows what the weather is that's coming in. I'm going to hold off looking until I feel mentally strong enough. Okay. Let me look at the questions. And it's really nice because I've got Tom turkey, I've got my female turkey, I've got my wee chickens at the door, and Jenny's just left. So that's nice. Right. I have had a very busy day, a very nice busy day. Well, I tell you, anybody that wants to come here and spend time with animals would be much appreciated because they follow you around absolutely everywhere. This turkey, is the turkey in the arena with me when I was knocking this afternoon? They all come through the stalls. Gemmie's come back with a mouthful of hay. Hey, you're still not having any. Go eat the hay. That's better for you. Keeps your tum-tum warm. Yeah, no. Go get your hay. Take the hay mouth away. Ah, yes, yes, yes. And I am hoping that when the weather gets a bit better underfoot, to get a wee halter on our little Gemmie and to get her out and about. And she's much more confident, as I keep telling everybody, away from Elvis now. So I'm hoping she'll be amenable to a little touch of halter training. Janine does have her halter trained, but she's not halter trained with me. Are you? No, you just come and pressurize me to give you treats. You do, and I'm an absolute sucker because I do. Yeah, it's the big eyes, isn't it? It's the eyes and the little shiny nose, and the feed me look. Yeah, okay. Right, well chew them. You don't want to go through them all. So you put me under so much pressure. So yeah, I think Charlie, once the weather gets better, I'm hoping she'll come over. It is. Look at me. Are the horned goats in the barn stall with the turkey? I hope there's no horned goats in the stall. No, the horned goats are up the hill, and they are doing just fine. But they're hilarious. They won't go outside. They go storming down the hill, and a little path is created. They turn around, storm back up the hill, and then they go and hang out in the eagle house. And my hawk seems to have disappeared. We don't know whether or not it's out hunting during the day and it maybe comes back at night time. And we've got no way of really seeing because I think the only reason we actually picked up on the fact that the hawk was in there was because we went in, we had been quite late in this barn, so when we went to put the hay in with the goats, it was late and it was up in the the rafters. So it's maybe getting in there at night, later on at night time. Yes, the light is in the turkey area, and her little thinker should probably be with her, Mr. Sterling. Yellow is definitely Gemmie's colour. She loves it. I actually give Larky, he'd always get treats in the car, so when he got back to the car, he got his treats, so he was quite happy. Yeah, there are mini horses, Pat. Naughty mini horses, but they're there because the turkeys are out and about. Ava is at community college at the moment, and then she is this summer going off to university somewhere. And yes, she used to help me. She actually used to help me most days. I picked her up from school, and then we would go to Meredith and do barn chores, evening chores, and then we would go home. But now she's off doing her own thing. Yeah, we've got everybody co-mingled in this place here. I can tell you, we're all hanging out for heat. I have still got the urn in the house. I have been running around doing so many peculiar things, and what I'd like to do, this is what's really holding me back a little bit, is the barn walls that separate the barn from the turkey stall are not high enough to keep the little sparrows out. So I need to put, I need to get this, about this much of the very fine hardware cloth up to fill that gap in, because, oh, you're back. Right, I see how it is. You've come back to harass me for food, haven't you? I need to get the sparrows out of the feed room because they are pooping everywhere and they're creating a tremendous amount of dust. So what I said to Janine when she went away is, do you mind if I rearrange the feed room and the tack room? And I'm going to have to get these sparrows out. And I have not had time to actually get round to the first part of it, which is keeping the sparrows out so that I can have space that is not covered in bird poop. There's bird poop absolutely everywhere. So yes, I will be bringing it down, and I do have a shelf ready to go. I just have far too many sparrows. And in fact, I took a video of the sparrows today, and if I put it up online, you'll see what I mean. They just sit there, and it's like angry birds. They all turn around and watch you. So when you're moving around, you've got this constant flock of sparrows watching you. They just sit there. They're very sweet, but they're very messy. So yes, I am going to get the urn down because I'm not leaving anything edible that is not in an enormous tin can in the barn at this precise moment in time. Yes, shh. Stop talking about the metal sawhorses. I keep forgetting to take them back. I was like, I must take those metal sawhorses back. And yes, she does know I've got them, because she keeps telling me. And then I keep thinking, yeah, I better do that. But she's been at her desk for the last few days sorting things out. So I think she's not in desperate need of them, because otherwise I'll get a text to bring them back immediately. Oh. Oh, Santa Clara sounds absolutely horrific. 65 and cloudy. You need a bit of sunshine with that. Turn the mugs upside down. Yes. I think I might be putting them in a container, I can tell you. So about the yuck. No, the hawk's moved on. Well, I think it's moved on. It might still be coming in at night time, but it's definitely away by the time we put the hay out at night time and also get up to check the goats and the chickens in the morning. So it's it could still be in there though, because it's a nice cozy spot about it. Did she write about them in the Daily Doggy? Yes, of course she did. I'll be getting a bad reputation for stealing her. What are they called? What are they called? Sawhorses or metal sawhorses. She wants to spray paint them bright pink, which I think would be a shame. But she's determined that people get away with stealing them because they're black. So we shall wait and see. I think they're very classic in black, actually. But I will take them back. I know, she's always writing about things she thinks have happened, and sometimes she's right and sometimes she's not. Boom is doing very well, and Mandy is also doing pretty well. She's actually settled really quite nicely with Justin, and so that's very good. And I think Sharon said that they were getting on well with Boom. They're keeping up with his training, and I think they're doing very well with that. So that's a really good result, I think. And I was just saying to Caroline, it's so very difficult because when you go out with Larky, he is, and I think this is what we really struggle with is we're obviously going to need a dog coming up behind Larky, and Larky, would you like to replace Larky when he eventually decides he doesn't want to go out and jog? You're quite impressive, but you poop everywhere. Can't take you. No. You'll have to do outside jobs. Yeah? Yeah? And Larky just has such a tremendous presence. When you walk in, everybody goes, oh, wow. And then he just starts working the room. He's calm. He's just so sociable. He's like a social butterfly. He's away bouncing around everyone. See, I just watched him. I was like, okay, Larky, go do your thing. He's like, I shall. Watch me. And he just went, and he was with, he was with grade 5 people. He was with people in their 20s. He was with people in the older generation. He was people with I suppose I'm probably getting towards the older generation. He was, he is just across the board. He's just absolutely fantastic, and that's really what we want to replicate. So there's lots of work to be done with the dogs that we have to get them all into shape and see if we can find another. He's a bit of a masterpiece, actually. He's a bit of a thinker when he gets going, but he is because he is malarkey. He is full of malarkey, and when he's working, he is absolutely fantastic. Hello, young lady. How are you? What's happening? Where's your little buddy? Where is she? I've actually seen Pasta, and Pasta is doing really well. Yeah, I saw Pasta over Christmas and New Year. Yes, I did. And he's doing fantastically. He's in super condition, and he is exceptionally well loved. So I can't really ask for anything more than that, can you? I have not seen Penny, and I'm not really in contact with Donna and Randy, although they are very lovely people. But yes, he is fantastic, Larky. No Willow's here, and Judy will be back next weekend, and so she's just in with Carlene at the moment, and Larky is Sizzle. Yes, Larky is still smelling armpits, and there's one gentleman in Sunrise that we go to, and honestly, he's just like, this is what he does every time. It doesn't bother me any longer. I'm like, jolly good. He's like, and yes, I am diabetic. I'm like, okay. And he says, and yes, my blood sugar is not under control. I'm like, okay, good to know. But I'd have known that because the dog told me. So, yes, he does still smell armpits. No, they both poop at a very regular interval. It's just that Elvis's poops are a bit bigger. Oh, tell you. So I don't think she'll slow down, but she'll be okay doing outside jobs. And she's, you know, she's pretty good fun when it suits her. And I'm just hoping she gets more confident round about people and we can take her out and about. And it, you know, it doesn't become something scary for her. She has great fun playing with the little goats. She does that. The goats go out when they go out the front of the barn here, and there's slippy sliding all over the sort of pathway that we've created, and the goats jump in the air and they sort of twist. Well, she jumps in the air, does a little twist as well. So she actually very much likes hanging out with them. Yeah, that's cows. You're quite right. They eat, they poop, and then they repeat. So you know what? I'm hoping this chicken's actually going to clear some stuff up. You keep going, chicken. That's super. Much appreciated. So, yeah, so everybody's hanging on in here. Doesn't look like our spring is coming. I was speaking to my friends in London, and she said, we have daffodils. And I'm like, we don't. Can't even see the grass. So I'm like, okay, jolly good, that's lovely. Yes, we just continue. So I'm taking every day as exceptionally cold, because it is colder than it has been for quite some time. And so everybody will stay on their hot mash because they like it, and they get it twice a day. And then they'll have their little straw bed, and they will have, they're still on their hot water. So I just followed the whole sort of like very cold weather protocol, because sometimes what happens is when you have to introduce different foods, I have put in beet pulp, and beet pulp helps generate heat. So everybody's having soaked beet pulp, because I know that there's cold weather coming in at the weekend, so they've had that slowly introduced. And I think that probably what I'll do is I'll just maintain the protocols that we started way at the beginning of the really cold snap. And that's what we do every day. We have hot mash in the morning, hot mash at night, and they've got hot water. Well, it's not hot, it's actually warm water, and they get additives to their water because it helps them to drink more water than they ordinarily would. And it's just, you know, it's difficult. It's exceptionally cold. They don't like drinking icy water, so I try and get everything into them during daylight hours, because with the best will in the world, the water drops temperature and it gets a little, here she comes, and it gets a little icy film on it, doesn't it? So to account for that, everybody's on soaked food, sloppy soaked food, isn't it? It's delicious. Oh, it's delicious. Yeah. So that keeps their digestive system hydrated and moving on through. So that's what we're up to. And they've got, you'll notice that everybody has an abundance of hay at the moment. And in fact, I didn't have to put out any hay in the arena today, because there was still about a bale and a half left. So that's another thing that keeps their little internal furnaces going. And Gemmie does like, she's got a little straw bed that I fluff for her every night in the corner. And she and Elvis, they seem to like lying over there. The chickens and the turkeys have straw beds, the goats have straw beds, and the donkeys are an exceptionally good weight and have eaten a lot and eat all night, I think. So everybody seems to be coping really very well. The thing that really, I had a memory popped up in one of those Facebook photograph things from 3 years ago. And it was when we were on Meredith, and it must have been about this time, because it was one of those memory things. And it was a picture that I'd taken of the weather forecast, and it was the temperature with wind chill was -24, and Meredith catches the wind. It just sits right in a wind tunnel. So it was definitely -24, if not just a little bit colder, because it is exceptionally chilly when it gets windy up there. I thought, I keep talking about this situation. That was the evening that I had absolutely everybody inside. And the one animal that I knew was going to have an absolute fit about being put into a barn was Ted, the big draft mule. So I had Ted. He was the only animal loose in the maze. It was an enormous barn, the main barn. He had the whole one of the aisle. And by the time I got there in the morning, I slid the door open and I was greeted by this enormous head going, "Let me out, I feel claustrophobic." I was like, good grief. But I had to take him down to his paddock, and he stood there in the wind, and his nose had obviously been dribbling. His nose was frozen, his chin hairs were frozen, his eyelashes were frozen, and he was the happiest boy in the whole wide world. You think you're doing your best for them, but obviously not. So he and Miss Betty White, they were outside in all weathers. So so the moral of that story is we have actually been through this before, and it's actually this little lady that I worry about most because she doesn't come from Massachusetts, and she's a bit thinner coated. So, but we have been down at this temperature before, and she has managed exceptionally well. Haven't you? You're such a clever girl. You're doing a great job. Yes, you are. You are doing a great job. Yeah, I know. I gave her a kiss on the nose earlier, just out of sort of habit, and then I remembered that she's got a really slimy wet nose, and it was quite disgusting. Still love you though. Yeah, but your nose is slimy. It is slimy. Yeah? Yeah, I know. I'm not giving you any more. I think we're going through about a quarter of a packet every evening. It's too much. I'm going to share with Elvis. Yeah. So that's it. We're just continuing the precautions that we started. I don't, aren't we? And if it gets really cold, I take you up to my house and you can snuggle. Well, I will tell you, one of the things we're having a real problem with at the moment, I think for the probably about the first time in my rather long married life, I decided to go and find a bed of my own. And this was probably quite pleased about because apparently I am the most phenomenal snorer in the whole wide world. Don't quite hear it myself, but apparently I am. And for the last 4 nights, Arlo, who is our enormous Great Dane, he has had cold ears. And when he gets cold ears, he can't sleep. And when he can't sleep, he spends his time sticking his cold nose in my face. And I think over the last 4 nights, I've had so little sleep because eventually I give in and I say, right, come up in the bed. He comes up in the bed, but he's a very tall Great Dane. He's probably about the same height, maybe even he's a skinnier dog than Larky. He lies on his side with his legs out like that, and it is so uncomfortable. And he likes to stick his ears under your pillow. It's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So I decided to go and find a bed elsewhere. I've just slept in a dog bed, I can tell you. So I went and found myself a bed and took my Annie with me. And it was a very nice night last night. So I think I might be having to do that again because I quite enjoyed it. I'm sure Nick quite enjoyed it because he had Noodles and Arlo and Ella and People Quiet. So I'm not sure if there's anything we need. Not that I actually went just recently and bought more hay bags. I bought another shovel because I broke one. I bought a storage container because we needed another one. And I had to actually go and buy 24 double-sided snaps. I don't know what's going on, whether or not they go under pressure in the cold, that the snaps have the little bar that goes up and down the snaps has been breaking. I don't know what has happened with the snaps, but they are not happy bunnies, so I've had to replace them because I've got lots of things, as you can probably see, and it's just been chaos. So I think I am up to date, but thank you so very much for the very kind offer. I haven't personally heard anything about Penny or Dawn and her husband, but I don't think that they would reach out to me because I don't really know them. Yes, so Judy will be here not this weekend, but the following weekend, and then she is away from a memorial, and then she'll be back to Goldie's. Yeah. Is this Gemmie? Can she wear a coat? She can wear a coat. Her little hump is coming in, which makes it just a little touch difficult. And she's not very keen on having anything on her body because I did have a coat that I fitted for her, and she doesn't really like it. Yeah, she don't really like it. So I'm trying to keep her warm internally and externally, and I always bear in the back of my mind that if I have any problems, I have this room that I can put the heater on, because it might be that I want to bring the rabbits in down here. So it's awful, but we're very careful with, that they don't get in a draft. That's why you'll see me. I go along to the doors, the outside doors, and there's some of them need a brick to push it back against to make it flush with the wall, just to try and stop any drafts coming in. So we are very, very careful. We use the split system, which is a bit. We don't use the fireplace very often because it takes a bit of maintenance, and we will be putting it on for such a short period of time because Nick works upstairs in the house, and it's obviously warm enough because he works in a shirt and tie, so he's obviously warm enough up there. But as we know, heat rises, and so yeah, it's just a bit tricky, but we'll get there. And Arlo always has cold ears. You'll have cold ears till about June. Okay. So I am off ski to go and feed everybody and then get home for the night. So thank you so very much for joining me. Tomorrow is obviously Friday. I have a job in PBD. I think it's sunrise tomorrow, actually. Job in PBD. I'm thinking Carol might join me. If she does, that would be absolutely lovely. And then we'll take it from there. So I better put the continue back on next, because you know what's going to happen. Someone will come and help herself. So thank you for joining me, and I'm off ski. Oh, if I can get out. Oh, I think the chickens have actually eaten the floor. Excellent. Oh. Oh, how did the goats get out? What are you up to?